The paradox we are about to explore is called the trolley problem. It unfolds quietly like a shadow stretching across a dimly lit platform, simple yet brimming with weight. A single decision lingers in stillness, a choice between action and inaction that neither fully comforts nor releases. Beneath the calm surface of this dilemma rests a profound tension, a fracture line between what is logical and what feels right. Here, morality is not painted in broad strokes, but hidden in small details, where every path holds both consequence and question. The trolley problem invites us to ponder the fragile balance between numbers and ethics, between sacrifice and survival, as if standing alone in night's hush, watching a distant train of fate approach. To step closer into the heart of this paradox is to enter a quiet room heavy with thought, where the mind walks a tightrope between what could be and what should be. The dilemma asks not for easy answers, but for reflective courage, a willingness to meet the unsettling question of value and choice. It is in this stillness that our moral compass wavers, swayed by invisible currents of instinct, empathy, and reason. The trolley problem is less about the act and more about the silent space it carves inside us, where doubt and resolve coexist. It is a mirror held up to our inner workings, revealing the soft edges and sharp corners of human judgment, illuminated by muted candlelight. Meet Clara, a woman standing at the edge of a quiet station as dawn filters through heavy curtains. Before her lies a simple yet crushing choice. 5 figures bound helplessly along one rail, one solitary figure on another. A trolley roars forward, relentless and unforgiving, its whistle cutting through the morning stillness. Her hand hovers near a lever, the weight of possibility pressing down like a stone on her chest. In this suspended moment, Clara's heart races against reason, her being caught between saving many or sparing one. The paradox slips into the fibers of her consciousness, turning abstract theory into raw, breathing reality. Clara's story deepens with the shadows of hesitation coloring her face. Memories intermingle with the immediate present. The echo of a lost childhood friend, the image of her father's steady hands, the ache of a recent goodbye. This moment on the track intertwines with every thread of her past, the quiet murmur of every moral question she has ever asked herself. Each breath she takes stretches time, the trolley's approach a slow heartbeat resonating through her veins. The ambiguity of choice settles in her bones, the harrowing sense that no path offers clean absolution. She is both witness to and prisoner of the paradox, her soul balanced on a tenuous wire. As the trolley barrels closer, Clara feels the paradox unfold with a complex intimacy. The 5 people ahead are not numbers, but stories, lives shaped by laughter, loss, and love. Yet the single figure on the other track carries equal weight in her heart, a solitary life whose interruption feels unbearably direct. The act of pulling a lever contrasts starkly with pushing a person, a gesture transformed from detachment into haunting consequence. This tension reveals itself not in logic, but deep within the nuanced space between thought and feeling, where the morality of action bends and fractures. Clara wrestles silently with the unbearable weight of deciding to harm or to stand still and watch. The paradox continues its quiet crescendo as Clara imagines a new scene, standing on a fog-shrouded bridge beside a stranger with a heavy silence between them. Below, the same 5 lives hang in precarious balance. Now her choice is not a mechanical pull, but a human push, a physical closeness, a direct causality that turns ethical considerations into intimate pain. The trolley's roar becomes a whispered demand, a force clamoring for a crossing between what the heart resists and what reason compels. This version of the problem ripples through her consciousness, exposing the tender fragility of human connection, woven into ethical dilemmas, and the haunting question of what makes one death more bearable than another. In the stillness that follows, Clara glimpses the paradox not as a puzzle to be solved, but as a mirror reflecting the conflict between utilitarian logic and rigid moral codes. Here resides the tension between maximizing good outcomes and following unyielding principles. It reveals a deeper unease. Can one ever justify harm in the name of greater good? Who grants the authority to weigh one life against many? These questions extend beyond this imagined crossroads, seeping silently into the fabric of our everyday decisions, quiet battles of honesty, kindness, risk, and responsibility. The paradox becomes an echo through time, challenging the very core of what it means to choose and be human. From this weighty reflection, Clara senses a shift, a gentle loosening in the grip of certainty. The problem's stark divisions soften into shadows that dance beneath the surface of understanding. The conflict between doing and not doing dissolves into an uneasy coexistence where absolutes fade and ambiguity blossoms. She begins to see that the paradox is less about finding right answers and more about embracing the spaces between, where instinct meets reflection and where moral clarity is forever elusive. This new perspective carries no easy comfort, but offers a quiet invitation to live with unresolved tension, to permit complexity to shape rather than fracture the soul. In this quiet acceptance, Clara finds an unexpected companion in the paradox. It no longer appears as a torment, but as a silent presence, a part of the human experience that resists neat conclusions, yet enriches the moral landscape. The question of choice becomes a meditation on responsibility, not just to others, but to oneself, to the interplay between action and consequence. The trolley's path remains uncertain, the lever still poised, yet the space around decision grows illuminated by understanding's soft glow. Clara's solitude transforms into contemplative peace, a moment suspended between what is lost and what endures, the delicate art of living with imperfect choices. As the evening draws close, the trolley problem whispers its final question into the quiet. If doing nothing leads inevitably to loss, can inaction itself be called a choice? The rails forever fork before us, worlds unfolding in silence. Perhaps the paradox does not demand an answer, but a reflection, a slow heartbeat echoing in shadowed halls of mind and spirit. It invites us to ask not just what we would do, but who we become when faced with impossible decisions. When the track splits and time pauses, which part of you steps forward? And in the stillness, might the courage lie not in deciding, but in simply feeling the weight of the moment?